Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report. It is December 18th, Saturday night before a game against the Giants in the Meadowlands. 9-4 Cowboys going to the 4-9 COVID and injury depleted Giants. As far as the injury report, we know Tyron Smith will miss the game. Tony Pollard's questionable still. Today, we put Tristan Hill and Osio Digizua on the COVID list. And that'll take Justin Hamilton off the practice squad and put him back in action, which he's a very serviceable defensive tackle. I think earlier in the year he won Defensive Lineman of the Week. He's a big, wide body that can stop the run and cause disruption. I think with some really good coaching in another year or two, he could be a full-time starter. Justin Hamilton, he's a big guy. He's one of those fatties only club that Tom Downey always talks about, like we had a few years ago. Donovan Wilson is back off IR now. His 21-day clock has started. He won't play against the Giants, no need to, but he will probably come back against Washington, and we'll need him against Arizona. Donovan Wilson is I would have to say second best safety because Ron Curse has played really, really well this year. This was supposed to be Donovan Wilson's breakout season where, he was supposed to break out and become a star safety. But injuries have depleted his year, and Trayvon Diggs actually had the breakout season. People just thought Trayvon was going to take another step to being a better corner. Trayvon is almost... by season end, he might be considered shut down. For the first time, when we played Washington, for the first time, he followed their number one. I don't think that he's done that this year. Followed the team's number one. He followed scary Terry McLaurin. And Terry McLaurin has 0 catches for 0 yards. He was a non-factor. Diggs was in his hip pocket the whole game and had a few pass breakups too, just beautifully. He gave it that one touchdown to Sims, but he had great coverage on that deep ball. Sometimes a receiver makes such a great play, there ain't shit you can do about it. Trayvon was in position, had his hand in between the receiver's two hands, and his hand was on the ball. But the receiver came down with his knee in the end zone. And the Giants, Adoree Jackson, their top corner, will be out. Danny Jones is going to miss. Danny Dimes. So Mike Glennon and Fromm, who they got from the practice squad, I'm hearing that they're going to rotate them in and out. That should be fun. 2 of their offensive linemen are going to be out. One is Ben Brendan. Don't really know. I've never really heard of them. A lot of their guys we've never really heard of. Actually, that's only one of their linemen. 2 of the defensive linemen will probably miss. Big one is Leonard Williams. He's that big body that stops a run. And Austin Johnson also will be out. Sterling Shepard will be out as well. Those are the injuries for the Giants. On COVID, they got that rookie Tony that gave us hell the first game on the list. They got linebacker Cam Brown on the COVID list. They got wide receiver John Ross, that speedster, on the COVID list. They got cornerback Aaron Robinson on the COVID list, and that edge rusher, it's really hard to pronounce his name. O'Shane Izimin is Ximines. Jimenez, I guess you could say. The X is silent. He's pretty good edge rusher, but he's out with COVID too. And safety Xavier McKinney had close contact, so he is questionable if he will play or not. So their secondary, their defense is depleted. This is Dak's get right game. If Dak doesn't get right this game, it doesn't get any easier. This is the last easy game that we have going forward as far as talent-wise. Every other team we play from here on out is better than this Giants team, especially with the injuries that they have. If Dak doesn't throw for 300-400 yards and 3 or 4 tubs and just air it out with his 3-headed monster at receiver, I will start to have some concern going for the last 3 games. Now, I know even if he has a dud game against the Giants, I know he still has 3 more games to get it right. They moved Washington, Philly to Tuesday, so that gives Washington only 5 days before they play us after the Philly game. They got, Wednesday and Thursday to, no, Wednesday off, Thursday and Friday to practice, and then Saturday fly to Dallas for the Sunday night game. And the Arizona game got flexed from noon to 3:25 p.m. Central Time. So that'll be America's Game of the Week. And that will give us a chance to jump to the number 3 seed, barring we win these next 2 games against 2 opponents that are far lesser than we are. But if that gets right on this game, just like Stafford got right during the Jaguars game against a bad team, but he got right. It's all about getting a rhythm, getting a confidence. He hasn't been able to do that. So against this Giants depleted secondary and defensive line, I mean, that's why they just signed Jalen Smith. The Giants are so desperate for defensive players, they signed Jalen Smith this week. And he's probably going to play. Being signed the same week, they're going to play. He doesn't even know the damn defense. So this game should give Dak some good stats. All the receivers should eat. And it should get his confidence back and get him back in the rhythm. Him and Kellen Moore back in the rhythm. And if that's the case, we should be very, very happy. And then next week at Sunday night against Washington, if you can build upon that and have another game, big game against a tougher defense, when you got William Jackson and Kyle Fuller at corner and Landon Collins, who's kind of a dinosaur at safety now, is old school inbox safety, but they still have a decent secondary and a better defensive line. And Montez Sweat will probably play that game. If he can dominate and just throw a party on the Giants, give them that confidence, get them back in rhythm, and if he can do that against Washington, then we'll be very confident playing Arizona Week 17. By the way, DeAndre Hopkins was put on IR, so he will miss the next 3 games, which means he will miss our game. I would rather him not. I would rather beat Arizona fully healthy, but that's fine. Their second best receiver would be A.J. Green or Christian Kirk. Trayvon Diggs will trail that receiver, whichever they choose. But this defense, oh my gosh. Did I tell you this defense is going to be looking great at the end of the season? Man. And Tristan Hill and Osi Odigizua missing the game because of COVID. Not too bad. You know, OC's been playing every game this season, so it gives him a break. It gives him like a little mini bye. Same with Tristan Hill, even though he missed half the year. And it gives Justin Hamilton some more playing time. So that doesn't really bother me at all. And when Donovan Wilson comes back and joins the defense in that secondary, I believe he will solidify that secondary. Donovan Wilson and Jaron Kearse will be a formidable safety tandem. And Diggs is a star at corner. We just need Anthony Brown to hold his shit down on the second spot, and Jordan Lewis, he plays well in the slot. Our offensive line will be Terrence Steele, left tackle. Connor Williams got his job back at left guard. So Connor McGovern will be full-time fullback again, I guess. I like him as fullback. I mean, hell, you can't have a better fullback than a 300-pound guy. But Connor Williams can pull a lot better. He's a lot more agile. So Terrence Steele will be at left tackle. Connor Williams, left guard. Dash, center. Zach Martin, right guard. Lyle Collins, right tackle. The reason when Ty Smith comes back, the reason why Terrence Steele is better than Collins right now is after Collins had that hip surgery and missed a year and a half, he doesn't have that movement that he had before hip surgery, before he got out of shape. In 2019, he was in shape. He could move with the best of them. He had a great season in 2019. But his best statistical season as an NFL offensive lineman, Lyle Collins, was at left guard, 2017. He didn't allow a sack that year. He didn't allow hardly any pressures, and he was dominant in the run game. If we keep him in the offseason and don't trade him, it would make no sense not to move him back to left guard and put Terrence Steele at his rightful place at right tackle. because Terrence Steele is only in his second year. And you just give him more experience and more reps at that position, he's going to get better. He could become the next Eric Williams. That's what I see in that man. But this game should be a blowout. Score prediction on the Terry's pick six. I put Cowboys win by 22 plus. That's the max you can put it at. I do that Terry Bradshaw pick six deal every Sunday. You can win $100,000 if you pick all six right. The team and how much they win by. I would say 38-10 would be my score prediction. I'd like to see more points scored. I'd like to see 42 or 49-10. I'd like to see Dak throw 5 touchdowns and see the running game get going and score a couple. This is a game to get the running game back on track too. The media and everybody said on Friday that Zeke had his best day at practice that he's had all season. On Friday, I don't know if he's getting healthier, even though that he has a knee problem. The doctor said that it would heal by itself, and that resting it, is not necessary because it will continue to get better. So if Elliott can get back on track this game and get over 100 yards rushing, that will also be a big lift in the spirits of the offense. 100-yard running game by Elliott and a party that Dak throws in the Meadowlands, and the offense puts up over 500 yards, and Dak throws 4 or 5 touchdowns. He runs for about 2, runs for about $130. That would be perfect. Because I'm telling you, our defense is the number 1 ranked third down defense. We get teams off the field on third down on a consistent basis. That is the biggest stat, one of the 3 biggest defensive stats to me. That, takeaways, and points. And right now we are 12th in points allowed. After the regular season is over, after the Eagles game, we will be top 5 in points allowed. I'll tell you that right now, because we're not going to allow more than 14, 17 in the next, probably the rest of the season. I don't see a team scoring more than 17 on us the rest of the season, not even Arizona, when it comes to Jerry World, because that pass rush is so formidable that it just trickles down. Helps the linebackers play linebacker, helps the secondaries play secondary. That's why you saw Leighton Vander Esch look like a good linebacker against Washington, because we finally had all of our front 4 guys healthy. Our front 4 was beautiful. And the rotation guys that come in, Basham, Watkins, Tristan Hill, that Ricky Golston. Whenever the rotation guys come in, it's not a big drop-off from the starters of Tank, Gregory, Osi, and Gallimore. So when your front 4 is playing that damn good, your linebackers play good because they don't have offensive linemen, pancaking defensive linemen and then getting to the second level. So the linebackers can run free to the football. And that's going to make LVE look very good the last quarter of the season as he tries to stay with his team. He wants to be a Cowboy for life. And Patrick Peterson publicly stated a few days ago that he wants to be a Cowboy. He'll be a free agent in the offseason. I would love it if he just raised hell in Minnesota and demanded to be released, and they release him, and we could pick him up. Wouldn't that be something? Pick up Patrick Peterson at the end of the season, give him 2 weeks to learn the defense, and have him start in the postseason for us. That's the only thing we like on defense is a good number 2 corner. That's why it drives me nuts that we did not go for Gilmore or C.J. Henderson or Richard Sherman. We didn't go for anybody. That's what drives me freaking nuts. Cowboys didn't do that. The Panthers got Gilmore for a 6th round 2023 draft pick. And we have cap space this season. So he'd have been a perfect 1-year rental to play opposite Diggs. Could you imagine this defense with Gilmore playing opposite Trayvon Diggs? Healthy? We would have the best defense in the league, hands down. But no, Stephen Jones, as cocky as he is, because he thinks he's the best GM to ever live, him and his dad, real content with our players. We're all homegrown. The only player that's not homegrown on this team is Amari Cooper, who we traded for. When the Cowboys got over the hill and won their first Super Bowl in '92, who was the man they traded for to put that team over the hump? Charles Haley. Jerry Jones even says they couldn't spell Super Bowl until they traded for Charles Haley. He was a catalyst to make that defense what it was, as would a big number 2 corner to play opposite Diggs would be. Because the only liability our defense will have in the offseason is Anthony Brown. He's played solid, give him that, but he hasn't played a lot of good quarterbacks. He played good against Mahomes, but Derek Carr threw a party on him. Tom Brady threw a party on him. But he hasn't played a lot of good talent, and he's not going to play a lot of good talent the rest of the season. He's got Mike Lennon and Fromm. Next week he'll have Heineke or Josh Allen. He'll have Kyler Murray, but no Hopkins. And then he'll have Jalen Hurts. But the number 1 seed is very much alive. Okay, we climb up a spot just by winning out and beating Arizona. Green Bay has Baltimore, Cleveland, and Minnesota, and Rodgers has that bad toe, and they're talking about sitting him for a week because of that. Green Bay drops one game, just one game. We went out. Green Bay drops one game out of the last 4. We move up to the 2 seed. If Tampa Bay can miraculously drop one of the last 4, I was hoping to beat New Orleans. Sean Payton is out with COVID, so Dennis Allen will take over. Saints have won 6 straight games, regular season games, against Tampa Bay. 3 straight with Brady at the helm. Hopefully that defense can miss Brady up again, and hopefully Davenport is playing this week with Cam Jordan to make that front 3, that front 4 very good. Man, if Tampa Bay falls this weekend, I will be freaking sky high. So happy, because I don't think Baltimore's going to beat Green Bay because Lamar's not going to play, but I believe Cleveland has the magic formula. If they go in there healthy with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, they can keep Aaron Rodgers on the sideline. And they're going to be playing for the playoff life, so they're going to be playing hella hard. And, you still got Jarvis Landry and David Njoku. And you got Myles Garrett, who's right now kind of tied with Parsons for Defensive Player of the Year. And he can really raise hell and maybe, give Rodgers a few good shots, knock him off his axis. So the number 1 seed is still very much in play. Playoffs, pretty much a lock. The division is pretty much a lock. Now we want to go up in seeding, and that starts with a winning out. Win these next 2. Hell, Arizona might lose one on their own, and it'll be 11-4. Cowboys hosting the 11-4 Cardinals. But if it's a 12-3 Cardinals, so be it. Doesn't matter. We still play them head-to-head. We're not going to lose against the Giants or the Redskins the next 2 games. These next 2 games are tune-up games to get our offense on track. Because who would have thought last year our defense, historically bad, only defense that was worse was a 1961 unit, our second year of existence. So the 2020 defense was the second worst defense in NFL history. In Cowboys franchise history. Who would have thought the defense could flip that quick? Like Mike McCarthy said in the offseason, he's never seen a side of the ball flip that quick. This defense will be dominant. And it's only going to get better the next 4 games as Gallimore, Gregory, and Lawrence get their feet under them. And Gallimore, boy, he is big. Man, did he lift weights? That training staff is good. He is that big glob stopper that can, take on double teams and stuff the run. Like we've been wanting, just like a Snacks Harrison or a Ndamukong Suh, or, one of the big fat guys, a Sam Adams for the Ravens, Warren Sapp. Somebody who can just, glob up the middle. That's what we had in Brent Urban. Oh, could you imagine if Brent Urban wasn't out for the year and he was still playing, him and Gallimore in the middle? We would stop the run. It would be just like Tampa Bay's front four with Sue and Vea, Gallimore and Urban. But I think Gallimore and OC, being a rookie, getting better, is still damn good. Or Gallimore and Tristan Hill is still damn good. And our ends, Basham comes in, whenever Lawrence or Randry or Gregory, Lawrence or Gregory needs a rest, Basham comes in, or Watkins or Golston, Armstrong. Them boys still get pressure too. That's the thing. Our depth on this defensive line hasn't been as deep as it was since the 90s when we had Tony Tolbert, Russell Maryland, Leon Lett, a.k.a. Big Cat, Charles Haley, Chad Hennings. I mean, just a buttload of good defensive linemen that we could just rotate in and out, keep fresh all game. And we didn't have a great secondary in the 90s. Who are our safeties? James Washington. Hell, Darren Woodson was a rookie in 92. But he wasn't starting. It was James Washington in 92, and hell, I can't even remember the other guy. But we had Kevin Smith and Larry Brown at corner. They weren't world beaters, that's for damn sure. Not until we got Prime. Then it was Prime and Larry Brown. That's, when we had a shutdown corner, which Diggs is headed that way. But that's it for the Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report. Expect a blowout against the Giants tomorrow. Expect Dak to get back on track. He is a very intelligent man. He knows how to read defenses. He knows what he needs to do. He knows that this is the best team that he's ever been on. This team is better than 2014 and 2016 and the 2018 team. This team is better than all three of them by a quarter mile. And all Dak needs to do is get back on track, him and Kellen Moore. And this offense starts to put up yards and points like they were earlier this season, matched with this defense that just gave birth to a monster. This team will be the scariest team in the NFL. Hell the Rams, hell the Bucks, hell Green Bay is going to be the star, baby. Y'all best believe that. Please like, subscribe, all those good things. Every subscriber counts. I need subscribers and likes for the algorithm to show my videos more towards the top. And just keep it going, DC for Life Nation, Cowboy Nation, whatever y'all want to call it. I'm a Cowboy fan since 92. My first game ever watched, Super Bowl 28 against Buffalo, 30-13. And ever since then, I've led these colors and all the colors behind me. But that's that for this episode, guys. Cowboy Nation, this might be our year. I've got a very, very good feeling. Very good feeling. So please like, subscribe, and share. And that's that for tonight. And I will have a video probably tomorrow night after the game. See y'all later.